Hello and welcome to the apocalypse. Today's episode,
Ep.5.
yes, episode 5.
It's going to help Silver later when he's editing for numbers.
Now, every time I save one of these episodes, I save them in its own file. So, like on Monster Smith and Mayhem, I have 100 separate files.
I have them saved in my notes app on my phone in a separate folder. And I'm so type A that I have them saved by episode. If you edit one of them, it goes to the top. So I had to edit the first one. So it went to the top of the list. So then I had to go in and like put a space in each of the other ones. So it wouldn't put them back in the correct order. So I feel your pain.
Yeah. So, today's episode, we're tackling the archetype of transformations.
The best.
The categories we're rating the transformations on are as follows. We have cool factor. Did the new form make them more appealing to the audience? Strength. Did the transformation increase the character's strength? How much so? And future impact. What's its impact on the world in the future? Does it show up again, or are they stuck like that?
And these will all be rated 1 to 10.
Yes. Okay. With that explanation out of the way, Mage, spin that wheel to see who goes first.
Dang. It took monDe, what, 30 minutes? 30 minutes late he was to get on this? And you would have thought within
Yeah.
that 30 minutes, I would have thought to get a wheel up and running. And I did not do that.
Mage comes unprepared as I do.
One of these times we'll be prepared.
That's when the true apocalypse will show up.
All right. And starting out is. It's Mage.
It's a me.
It's a mage. All right. Let me go through my list here. So I'm going to go. So my goal with this list was to pick individuals that are a little off the beaten path. Maybe not the ones you would think of immediately with transformations. So the first one that I picked is from Black Clover, specifically his Spirit Dive form.
Is this from Black Clover from anime or manga?
This is from the anime. This is the newest, his newest form. It is when he combines with Sylph, the Wind Spirit, and he gets the Spirit Dive in order to fight the devils. So he uses this form when fighting. I think it's Zagrid is the devil's name, who is controlling the elves. It allows him to use spirit magic. It greatly increases all of his wind magic use, as well as it allows him to conjure different wind element weapons. So in this form particularly, he uses a sword. Here we go. He uses a sword that has wind magic around it, so it becomes much faster in use, and it increases all of his physical attributes. And then obviously it increases his arcanic power as well.
Ooh, green and glowy.
It is very green and glowy.
Now, how many times does he use this form later
He
on?
uses it quite a bit after this. It's actually like the first. So if you were to equate it to like Super Saiyan, it's like the first like the first version of it, and then later he adapts different versions. With it, he becomes more skilled at using it, but this was the original. So you see like his crown there, how it's like half a crest.
Yeah.
And he has his wing. He has like one wing on the side. So there's another version that's, I think this one's manga only, because we haven't got that far in the anime yet, where he is able to transform into this, which is its full spirit assimilation.
Okay.
Yeah, so this version is much more powerful. But the version he's in here is still incredibly strong because the Spirit Guardians, which is Sylph, is a pixie that he's able to fuse with, which is the Wind Spirit. Sylph is one of the 4 legendary spirits. So there's Sylph, which is wind, Salamander is fire, Undine is water, and I don't think we know Earth yet. But those 3 are If you're blessed by them, you are very blessed by mana. So they become incredibly powerful. And you can see on his left arm, it's encased in that mana. In that first photo, it enhances all of his defense and physical abilities because of that.
Okay. And you said the other elements were Sylph, Wind, Undine, Water, Salamander, Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
And
the last
then
one will be Gnome for Earth.
probably,
If
yeah,
they're
I'd
using
imagine
the
there'd be
core
some Earth.
basic.
Yeah, they do the basic ones. I think lightning is technically one of the core 5 elements in this universe, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, his spirit die form is incredibly strong. And like I said, it also opens up to a ton of different abilities that he gets moving forward. When he gets this form, and the reason it's so important in the show is because of Asta has just discovered his own kind of spirit form and has become stronger than So him establishing this form catches him up to or to Asta. So it keeps him kind of on track.
Do you want to go first, monDe?
Sure, I can go first.
Since you know more Black Clover than me.
Yes, because Black Clover is epic. We'll start with cool factor. Uh, I mean, it's cool that his wind magic gets ramped up by quite a bit. Like, it is actually quite impressive at how, like, just half of a transformation does for increasing his mana, even though he was been gifted with quite a bit of mana since he's Black Clover's been out for a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So since Yuno's actually royalty, so he already has a high mana.
Spoilers, I guess, but like it's been out for months. You should have read it at this point if you cared.
Or watched it.
Yeah, we're watching it. Oh yeah, they did animate that part. I forgot about that.
But yeah, for coolness factor, yeah, cool. He's still a one-winged angel, so coolness factor, I'm gonna have to give him like a 5.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, not really.
Ah, dang.
Too much Final Fantasy from One Winged Angel.
You bitch. I love that. It's my favorite thing.
but but strength, on the other hand, yes, it gave the character quite a bit of strength and a boatload. So I'm gonna have to give him an 8 on strength.
Yeah.
And future impact, it did get used quite a bit after the fight because then he had to fight because he was using it before the devil, I believe.
He used it in the like Royal Knight selection exam for the first time, I believe. I think that was the first time.
Yeah, because I remember it popping it because he actually stayed in it quite a long time. Because didn't he also use it to fight to save his home village?
Yeah, when they fought the elf, the
Yeah.
guy that was possessed by an elf.
So it did have an impact. So I'm gonna have to give it a 8 as well on that one. So 5, 8, 8.
I think it's 21, I believe.
Oh, thank God it's not 22.
I appreciate your patronage.
Okay.
Who's next? Spin that wheel.
No, I got to do mine yet.
No, we all know how you're gonna vote.
Maybe. Cool factor. I have to agree with monDe on this one. Only being half into form kind of reminds me of not quite there yet.
I'm not gonna lie, you were the one I was counting on. I was like, oh, Silver is
I
100% gonna go for this.
I do like wind magic. And I do like the color green.
Yep.
The sword is better than the full form's halberd.
Yeah, he in the one form later on. I think it might be when he fights the devil too, or it's when he's fighting the elves first. He gets a bow. That form's really cool as well. So he can craft, like I said, he can craft different weapons with it that he
He just
chooses.
chooses. Okay.
Yep. Each one of them represents a season because wind is like the changing of the seasons. So this is I think it's the fall season is the sword.
So for cool factor, I'm going to have to give it a 6. It would probably be a little higher if he didn't have the crown of arrows. or if it was just slightly higher on his head instead of nearly in front of his eyes.
It's in a weird position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power wise, it does seem to give him a power boost, but it's just a power boost to keep up with his rival, the MC, which could be equal, more or less equal.
Yeah.
He's already powerful to begin with. It's probably a 7. There's obviously stronger forms, which is also a downside for future because there is further forms past it.
But he couldn't get to those without this one.
Yes, it's the base level form.
Mhm.
You say he uses it a lot, so
Mhm. Yeah, it's equivalent to like it really becomes like a Super Saiyan form for him. That like after this.
pretty much his go-to base go any type of
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. Because even after the initial fight where he has it, he can go into like the higher level form, but he can also just go into this one when he doesn't have to use as much magic.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go with an 8 as well, like monDe did.
Or
So 6, 7, 8.
23. Is that right? Or no, 21 as well.
You know, scored a perfect
Yes.
21.
Dueling 21s. Okay. Let's get to the wheel here.
Who is our second contestant?
Is gonna be next is silver.
Yes, last
Ooh.
again.
I feel like monDe loves last.
It never goes well for him, though.
None of these ever go well for me.
So I went with a different route than Mage did. I went with characters that changed drastically due to their transformations. So my first one up is from an anime as well that was on an honorable mention beforehand. So we're talking about Maple.
The hell's that?
Well, Maple is a character from the show Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense.
Oh god.
So Maple is a girl who wears red and black armor, red and black shield, has incredible defense. She puts all her status points in defense, nothing in attack, speed. So she's pretty much the ultimate tank. Well, this transformation that she does gives her speed, attack, while also keeping her defense a bit. And it's the transformation of Atrocity.
Atrocity.
Yes, I got a clip of it.
Silver, you always make me fuck up my page. So I always put the character you select and then in parentheses the show it's from if I don't immediately know who it is. I can't put the actual show, the total of it.
So the transformation starts at roughly 40 seconds in.
Is it the bright white? Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, she has a couple different transformations. But I want this one because it's the biggest change.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'd say it's the biggest change.
So Atrocity is pretty much a 4-armed, 2-legged monster.
Bug. It's a monster bug.
It has long neck, can breathe fire, high physical damage, which is pretty much helps her out with her minus defense, her ultimate defense she has in her normal form. And yeah, it can jump high. It's very large. It eats things.
Also, now I have to watch this show.
It's still red and black, following the same color scheme as Maple.
What are the downsides to this thing?
Can limited time usage. Can only transform a couple times a day.
And does she like die afterwards?
Nope.
So she just does it, comes out of it, and is like, oh, okay, cool.
Pretty much. And she's in full control. It's not like a rampage. She is in full control of this form.
I call hacks.
It is a video game based anime, so
Yeah,
of a
I
deep
call
dive.
hacks.
So does everybody else on Maple.
Fair.
But it is 100% just how the game's played. Even the admins seem to be like, how is she doing this in this game? She's just incredibly lucky.
Yeah. monDe, do you want me to go first?
Sure, since I went first last time.
Okay. I'm gonna start with strength. It's got to be like a 9, right? You turn into a 2-story tall bug monster that can breathe fire and is super strong and super armored and like duh. So it got to be a 9. I'm gonna go cool factor, probably like a 6. It's cool. I don't
Oh.
like the hair. I'm not a fan of like the giant hair coming out of it. That's weird. It could have been a different shape. It could have followed like the typical anime trope and been like a dragon or something like that, but it's like a weird hexagonal bug thing.
You want to know how she gained this transformation?
How's that?
She fell into a pit with a super strong demon.
Mhm.
Then she ate it. She ate the demon and got atrocity.
So cool factor for me is going to be a 5.
Oh,
That sounds atrocious.
That sounds terrible. I was expecting like survived for a month with this demon. The demon gained respect and gave her the power. Not like, oh yeah, I ate him. Yeah, it's fine. So we'll do 5 for cool factor,
oh.
but 9 for strength. Very strong. Future impact.
She uses this thing quite a bit throughout the story. It's not like a one-time
Yeah.
use. This is like early season transformation she gets, which she still uses it even at endgame.
Does she ever get beaten in it?
No,
I assume. I assume it's like anytime she goes into it, it's like, oh, okay, fight's over.
not that I remember she gets beaten, but she's also really never been beaten in the game because she has such high defense.
So that's kind of my thought on the impact. I'm going to say a 7, and the reason it's not higher is because it is like a video game based anime. She's cresting, like she's at the top. It's almost like when you see a person that's min maxing and you're just playing the game to play at that point. You're like, oh, I 100%ed. I can't be beaten. I have all the cheat codes and everything. I have all the stuff. I'm just here to be here.
She
Rock
keeps
Lee
getting
from
stronger
Ultimate
too.
Ninja.
What'd you say?
Rock Lee from Ultimate Ninja. Speed maxed up.
It's just Ryan playing Rock Lee, going dynamic injury, and you don't touch the ground and you die. Yeah. So it's very impressive, but the idea of having a character where it's like, oh, you're never tested, to me is like, eh. So I'm gonna say, yeah. So we'll say a 7 for future impact. So that's 21.
No, I was gonna say she also learns another skill eventually that duplicates herself, and it works in this form.
Oh God. You're just proving my point.
You said a 7.
Yeah, so 21 total. You are up, monDe.
So I have actually seen a little bit of this anime on TikTok. So I at least know a little bit. Just enough to know that she goes around with the shield and just boops everybody with it and eliminates them.
That was early game before she got nerfed, and the shield didn't do that.
For
Well, she can only do that 3 times.
a cool factor, I mean, it looked really cool. All the limbs popping out, multi-limb attacks, and what looked like cannons.
monDe is a sucker for a multi-limbed monster.
It's a breath attack, like a beam, like a
Lasers.
kind of like hyper beam.
I'll give it a 7 for cool factor. Then strength, I mean, like Mage said, if she never gets beat in it, it's kind of broken for strength. But the attacks still seem like they're pretty cool because she's no longer just carrying a shield, smacking people with a shield. So we'll give the strength like a 7.
What? Okay.
Look, if she got defeated or something, maybe a little more because like
It's a power. The category's power.
okay,
Isn't it?
you got me on that. Okay, we'll go like 9.
I will say though, I get where you're coming from because the idea of like, oh, they're really strong, but they never get tested. So it's like you don't really know.
It's kind of like One Punch Man.
Yeah,
Everybody agrees One Punch. Saitama's strong though.
he's very strong, but also like you
Yeah.
don't know how strong because is he just facing weak individuals?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that alien was just weak and he just like was very durable. That's why he took more than one punch.
Maybe that alien's just a baby back bitch.
Then future impact, I could see how that could like
I mean, it
definitely
can
be
lose
beneficial.
limbs.
Okay, so it can be broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember it being beaten.
But it can be damaged.
Yeah.
And you said it shows up a few more times?
Yeah. Sometimes she just uses it for movement speed.
Okay.
That one person that uses that super strong skill.
We'll give that an 8 for
Okay,
future
I'm happy with
impact.
That's a high score.
7, 8, 9.
24.
Yep. Our highest one so far. And because there's only 3 of us, that means next up is monDe.
Yeah, you guys can see my OG. I'm bringing one back from the past.
Are you gonna put it in Discord?
Yeah,
Are
Okay.
you gonna say it for
I am.
our audio audience?
The one I have selected is from Dragon Ball Z.
Of course it is.
Well, to be more exact, Dragon Ball GT.
You motherfucker. Oh god.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Because his physical appearance changes, unlike in normal Super Saiyan.
I will argue. I'll even argue that Super Saiyan is a physical transformation too. You change hair color, you change body color, you change ki. It's a pretty different transformation. But this is much more of one. Yes.
Considering in GT he is a child and he has to have his tail yanked out by a pair of pliers to transform into Golden Ape. Then he transforms the Golden Ape to this form, and he's in an adult body now. His body like has a growth spurt, and he shows up multiple times in GT to defeat like Super 17 and like the baby and the dragons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had this form during the dragons.
Yeah. The
So,
first time he goes into it, I think, is when he's fighting like maybe Nova Shenron.
we're talking about Super Saiyan 4 with Goku. Not
Yes.
Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He grows red hair across his upper body besides his bare chest. And his hair just gets bigger but stays black. And his pants turn yellow. Or was his pants always yellow?
No, his
They
pants
turn
turn
yellow.
yellow.
And then
And
he
he gets a
has
red
a
tail.
red tail.
Which he did not have a tail previously.
Right, they had to yank the tail out
Yep.
because it started growing back.
Also, this was in the Baby Saga.
Did it
Yeah.
hit Baby Saga?
Mhm.
So was Super 17 in Baby Saga? Because I thought he used 10 times Kamehameha.
17 was after, I believe.
Ah,
I
okay.
think 17 was after that.
No one really remembers the right order for GT as it aired on Tsunami and a weird order.
Wasn't it labeled the blacklisting of Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, they started. Shout out to Team 4 Star, which is the reason I know this because I've been watching their commentary on it. They started at like episode like 17 or something like that, and they did like 2 episodes of recap over the whole first like 2 arcs.
Mm.
And they started like when they had already collected most of the Black Star Dragon Balls, because a lot of that was just a lot. It was violent and really bad, so they didn't want to edit it down for U.S. audiences. So they're like, just don't show it. Just ignore it. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
I'll go first
Silver,
this
do
time
you? Okay, go ahead.
since I haven't gone first yet.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, cool factor. You chose another red character again, monDe.
Something tells me this isn't gonna be fun.
But nostalgia of playing Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, even though it was terrible controls back in TV or back in PS1 era.
Oh god.
Cool factor. I mean, he grows his own shirt, so
Yes.
That is pretty dope.
say probably a 7. He's not terrible. He's not a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Cool. So
I will say though, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is a much cooler transformation because of how he gets there. But this is also very cool.
He needs a woman's help.
It's okay to ask for help.
strength factor. This is his peak form in GT. No, it's not because he does a fusion to get to his peak form.
He does.
But this is a peak transformation, so I can see where you're
Yes.
going for that.
But in the Dragon Ball Z series, it's ranked lower probably than Super and or Blue and God form.
Yes.
So power wise, I'm gonna have to go with an 8. And future uses, I'm probably going to unfortunately have to go with a 4 just because GT got canceled and no one thinks it's canon.
That's the reason why.
Pretty much the show just it continued on, but it continued on without him in the future episodes. It would have been cool if they would have brought it back for like the Broly episode, or maybe if they introduced Baby again.
Mhm.
Let's say Super Saiyan 4 continued into the other games, like in Dragon Ball Z. The one where
Budokai,
it's in the Budokais and it's in the
time traveling
one with
one,
the kids, where the kids like use the
Xenoverse.
superheroes. That's the name of it.
Oh,
Oh
Where
yeah.
it's like the kids, and then they got like their DBZ characters as like their fighters and friends. He shows up in there.
well, to be honest with that, they just keep adding as many characters as they can to those DBZ games.
Is that keep seeing the animation of that on like YouTube. Was it Dragon Ball Superheroes or something?
Yeah,
Yeah. Then there's a new Budokai coming out.
Yeah.
Sparking Z.
Sparking
Yeah.
Blast. Or Sparking Zero. So excited.
So with a total going to be 19.
I'll be a little nicer than um this is the definition of pandering to your audience for sure. I love Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I'm weird because I also kind of really like GT, especially like these couple arcs, like this arc, the Dragons arc, Super 17, all that, all that's great. So cool factor for me is gonna be probably an 8 or a 9. I'm gonna say a 9 because this spawned a whole bunch of like everyone was talking about like, oh, what's next? Like, what are the next things you could do after this? Like, how many different artworks did we see of like, oh, they could do Super Saiyan 5 and it could be this color scheme? Or like the Golden Ozarus, or like, oh, what would this character look like as Super Saiyan 4? So I thought that was really cool. And then it was even so cool they made Vegeta a version of it. Strength, I'm gonna say an 8, because it is very strong in this universe. Like monDe said, he has like a 10 times Kamehameha. It's very strong. Fights Super 17. He fights Baby with it. Future Impact, I'm going to say an 8 as well, because of he defeats multiple individuals with it, that are multiple individuals that are world beaters, like could destroy the planet if they wanted to. And he's able to go into it at will.
Isn't that technically everybody after the Cell Saga or Frieza Saga?
Not necessarily. Like none of the just individual dragons from the Shadow Dragon arc could do it, but like Omega could. Like Omega Shenron definitely could have. But like Super 17 could have when he was in his final form. Baby in his final form when he took over Vegeta could have. But yeah, not all of them,
Okay.
but a majority of them. I get where you're at. Yeah, dang, I gave you really high scores.
Yeah, I got the lowest and the highest score this round.
Yeah, what I do? I said 988, right?
Yeah, so it was
25.
25, and then Silver gave me a 19.
Yeah. I mean, technically in the whole series, he doesn't continue on, just in GT.
Yeah, but Goku can't help that. It was a writer's issue.
Yeah.
Technically, Toriyama can't either anymore.
Rest in
Ooh.
peace, Akira Toriyama.
Toriyama.
Very much missed. Well, since monDe took my DBZ one,
We kind of seen that
My-
coming.
yeah. Silver and I were talking about it before the episode of like someone in this group is picking one. I had a villain, but we'll talk about that in honorable mentions. My next one. I have 2 on here. I probably should talk about the one that I know the most about. I am going to pick Kafka Hibino from Kaiju number 8.
That was on my list too.
I figured it would be.
Oh, that was not on my list.
That's the most recent.
Yeah, that's my most recent one on here. So Kafka Hibino is an individual in Kaiju number 8. He's part of the Kaiju cleanup team, well, disposal team, I guess, but he helps to clean up dead Kaiju in Japan in this universe. However, he is infected by one of the named Kaiju, which is Kaiju number 8, a kaiju gets its name when it is described as a dai kaiju, so it's one of the more powerful ones. This kaiju lends him his strength and tries to take over him, but he is too powerful of will, so he ends up essentially striking a partnership and is able to utilize the power of this kaiju to protect his friends and Japan from other kaiju. So he transforms into. I guess I should put a photo of it in our chat. He transforms into kaiju number 8, who is this very large, skull faced, monstrous kaiju. It's only in the first season, but we haven't seen. So they judge things by fortitude in the show, and his fortitude is a 9.8, which is the highest they have seen yet of a kaiju.
Yeah, they say that in like the 3rd episode, 4th episode.
Yeah, because it like glimpses for a minute when he transforms. He gets that level. He is strong enough that he's able to go toe to toe with the commissioner of the Kaiju Defense Squad.
Force.
Yeah, Kaiju Defense Force. Sorry, he's able to go toe to toe with him and actually beat him, or not beat him. He fought him to a standstill.
Beat him is kind of a loose
Yeah,
term. He kind of let
yeah.
him.
He
Spoilers.
could have killed him if he wanted to. Yeah, spoilers for the last episode. Go watch it. It's very good. He could have killed him if he wanted to, if he hadn't have stopped himself.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a photo that shows like how big he is.
He's humanoid, so he is roughly about 10 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. But he is powerful enough. He was able to divert a nuclear blast from a group of kaiju that were trying to destroy a majority of the kaiju defense force. He was able to.
Dude, that's kind of bullpucky because
What do you
they
mean?
detonate nuclear bombs in the air. So he just technically made it worse by sending it higher into the air.
Well, no. The upward force that he projected onto it allowed the explosion to go upward.
That's a explanation.
That's an explanation. He's taken out. He was able to fight and hold off Kaiju number 8, or sorry, Kaiju number 9, who is also a Dai Kaiju, in strength. And I'm sure we'll get many battles between them moving forward. Yeah, the main things of his power are his size changes, and then all of his physical attributes, strength, speed, are increased like a couple thousand-fold. He becomes very powerful, even able to fight the vice captain of the entire defense force. And he was trying to hold back because he didn't want to harm him, and able to neutralize him and get away.
He also pees out his nipples.
He does pee out his nipples. It's very cool.
That's canonical within the first 15 seconds of transformation, pretty much.
Literally, the second he transforms, he goes, I have to pee, and pees out of his nipples. monDe, have you seen Kaiju number 8?
Nope, I have not.
You need to watch it. I feel like of the three of us, you would probably like it the most. I also, they don't touch on this, but I feel like there's a little bit of size manipulation he can do as well.
He can definitely add boosters to his arms, legs, wherever he wants to.
Yeah, for speed and strength increases. I think, too, the blue energy you see moving through him, I think that's electricity, but he hasn't, like, tapped into that ability yet. But I know, like, when he throws punches and things, there's electricity around it. I don't know if that's just for effect or if that's, like, I'm sure if it is not, he'll discover that later. So, yeah, that is Kafka. And, oh, I forgot to say this for transportation. He is able to go into this form at will, so much so he can even apply it to just specific parts of his body. So, like, when he does the exam, he's able to apply it to his arms. He can pick up a car just by putting it, like, transforming his arms only.
Oh, I know an image that'll make monDe want to watch it.
Are you going to show the peeing on his nipples image?
I was looking for it. I can't find it.
Oh, yeah.
Psycho Chick.
Kikaru.
It's got a twin-tailed blonde in it. One of your favorite archetype characters.
Twin-tailed blonde. Oh, and she gets a giant axe.
Yeah, we just know you, monDe.
Toga doesn't have twin pigtails.
Okay, well, she's the exception.
She looks crazy.
A bit.
And you think Toga doesn't look crazy?
Toga's the exception. Am I going first?
Sure.
Yes. You go first on Mages. Mage goes first on me. I go first on you.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I think I might have to start reading it, though.
It's pretty good. It's one of the few ones that I've read and watched at the same time, and I think the anime is actually better than the manga because it's very well animated.
I mean, they are coming along pretty well with the animation and stuff nowadays. Coolness factor. I mean, it's blue. I'm not a very good fan of blue.
It's black and white. Or black and
He's blue
Right.
highlights.
yeah. It comes out white in the anime almost.
And then when the demon when the kaiju takes over, it becomes purple.
Yeah. Because he can lose control. Spoilers.
Mm,
Spoilers, it can lose control.
I mean, I really don't want to do this because I know it's going to hurt me later. But for coolness factor, I'm going to have to give him a 10 because he kind of looks kind of kick ass. It's going to hurt me later. I just know it. You watch.
You're gonna lose by one.
I don't know. I'm seeing this picture with the peeing out the nipples.
That's what's doing it.
That you're going to lose a point on that one. You're a 9.
Okay, that's fair.
You're losing a point on that.
I'll take that.
Strength. I mean, you said this thing punched a nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
yeah, it was the equivalent of a nuke, and punched it up into the air so far that it blew up like the ship that dropped it.
The ship was it. It wasn't a
Oh, sorry. It punched it so high that the explosion did not hit the planet.
shockwave. Blew it.
A little bit.
Sounds like Hiroshima. I mean, punching nuke does sound pretty impressive. So it definitely increased his strength by tenfold, pretty much.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
100.
it's more like 100-fold at least.
We'll go with an 8 then for strength. Or, no, we'll go to 9. It punched a nuke. So another 9. This is going to be the character that wounds it because I'm trying to give the character an honest rating. Future impact, though, since there's not very many episodes out of it yet,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give it maybe a 6 because you don't know if he's going to die or not. Because I haven't seen it.
That's fair. 25, I think. Or no, you gave me a 9 for cool factor, right? Because he pees out his nipples.
Yeah, 9, 9, and 6.
9, 9, 6. Okay. 24.
The nipples, man. I seen that picture and I was like, what?
It's fucked. It's fucked up.
I if he was rubbing his nipples, that we would have lost another point.
So you said you haven't seen it at all?
No, I've seen bits
So-
and pieces on
Okay.
Instagram or TikTok.
Because that thing you brought up about, like, you don't know if he's going to die, where they literally were debating, like, oh, should we just kill him? Should we just kill him and harvest his kaiju organs for weapons?
Oh, and you want to know another thing?
What's
If you look at all those other pictures, no nipples. He makes those nipples.
He protrudes them.
Yeah.
He has any nipples.
Like a cat's claws.
Like a cat's claws, Jesus.
So is that the kaiju's way of getting a hard on?
No.
No.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
We don't know. There's only one season out so far.
Yeah, could be.
That sounds like it's a season 3.
It's the big reveal in season 2 is that's how he gets a boner.
That's how baby kaiju's are made.
All right. So
Tear me apart, Silver.
there's recency bias with me on this one. As it is one of the better animes that were out last season. And it is a great transformation from just a 40-year-old 30
33?
33. Yeah. Because he was on his last year to be able to take the
Yeah.
exam to be in the Special Defense Force.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Kaiju Defense Force. And he can control his powers. The transformation's cool. It's better looking in the manga than the anime.
You think so?
The manga is a lot better than the anime.
Hmm.
Look-wise, that is.
Dang.
They have a lot more detailed. It's almost like he's too smooth in the anime.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's fair.
He gets a little better. It's like the studio animating it doesn't know how to use shading.
I would say I don't think you're wrong. The scene where he, like, spoilers again, we're gonna say it 15 times, where he fights the the head of the head of the defense force.
Yeah.
That scene, I think, is how he should look all the time. Where he's like, he looks more grimy, he looks more bumpy. Like, I feel like that's the more accurate representation.
Yes. Agreed. With that, I'm gonna have to give it an 8 because there's still that -1 point for peeing out the nipples
Oh goodness, of course.
for the coolness. For future, it's gonna be a 10 because he's the MC,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's the main concept of the show is hey, he transforms.
Mhm. And other kaiju are gonna do this now too,
Yeah.
because they talk about kaiju number 9 and they show him like taking over a body.
And then power wise, I can't give you a 10 for power. I can give you a 9.8.
Now we're
So a
adding
10.
points to the.
So
I'm
your
counting it.
total,
I'm counting it as a 9.8.
yeah. So
You're
your
gonna lose by
total for
0.8.
me would be
27.8.
27.8,
This fucking asshole.
just to make you do decimals
Oh
because
god.
they already rated his power out of it. Oh,
I hope I beat you by 0.8.
Kaiju number 8 was a big one for recency bias. So.
Yeah. It's genuinely like one of the ones I'm most excited for next season.
Okay, so my next one is
Okay.
not an anime, but a live action movie.
No, it's on my list. Don't do it.
So my next character is Doric from,
Doric.
I think that's how you pronounce her name, but she is in uh Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh shit.
Honor Among Thieves. She's the druid in there as in the main party, and it's her owlbear transformation scene where her owlbear transformation.
Okay.
Red-headed tiefling to a giant owlbear. It is strong enough to take out several guards and horses, and she even uses it against the big bad villain, where she's chucking around, slamming into the ground.
I forgot how much I like this movie. Also.
But
I've never seen it.
an owlbear is also one of the favorite D&D companion pets or
Yeah,
transformations for druids, just because they're so cool.
they're so versatile.
Also got another video of them transforming, and she's such a strong druid that she can wild shape between without having to go back to human first.
I think, am I first on this one?
Yes.
Yes,
No.
because I'm first on you.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you're first on Silver, and Silver's first on me.
Okay. I think it helps that she doesn't transform into anything else stronger than an owl bear. Like, this is by far the strongest thing she turns into. Because she does like birds and horses and stuff, but this is the strongest like thing that she turns into. Cool factor, it gets an 8. It's one of the coolest animals in D&D. And I think it is so cool because it's not like, it doesn't try to be a beholder, it doesn't try to be anything over the top. It is a bear that is partially an owl that will fucking just murder you. Strength, what's its CR rating? It's a challenge
She
3.
she was using it to fight one of the bronze dragon
Mhm.
statues at the end there.
But didn't beat it. And an owlbear is a challenge rating 3, so there's things stronger than it, but it is in the upper levels.
Mhm.
I would say probably a 7 for strength, especially like you said, because she can go kind of in and out of transformations faster than most druids.
Mhm. And most anime transformations.
Mm-hmm.
It take like 3 episodes to transform.
All right, don't pick on DBZ like that. The thing that is going to hurt this, future impact, I'm going to give it like a 6. We know in D&D they're kind of common, and owlbear transformations are, but it is still very cool. And I think the big thing, like you said, is once you can get that transformation, once you can become an owlbear, and going in and out of it is really, really cool for like different things you can do. To just all of a
Yeah.
sudden walk in a person and be like, oh, by the way, now I'm a bear, is really cool. So
You walk into the store, hey, I need to get these claws, these metal claws made for my bear. Okay, where's your bear? 1 second, go outside, transform into the bear,
where's
come
your
back
bear?
in.
Bear. So I think I gave you a 21 total.
What was the last one? 6?
Yeah, I did 6, 7, and 8.
I heard a big smack.
Oh, I was tapping my pencil and I missed.
It's super loud.
Sorry.
But I figured I'd throw another nerdy thing in there besides anime that follow the same archetype.
Yeah, I have a non-anime one, but I also have an anime one that I want to try it because I want to argue it. So
I mean, we got to give monDe some sort of bones.
that's kind of why I'm like I want to do it so that way you guys can argue me, and then if I'm wrong, it's fine.
Your kaiju is going to give you a kind of a high lead, and monDe's already behind.
So Redhead turns into an owlbear. Okay.
It's a standard
Uh,
owlbear.
It's
It's in
white.
the video.
I mean, coolness wise, is it a red-headed owlbear or is it white owlbear?
They don't play the video, but it's a white. It looks like the photo. It
I'm
has
afraid to
red
play the
hinges to it.
video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very standard white owlbear.
Coolness wise, I mean, I personally am not a fan of owlbears,
And
but
having you play a druid in
the
Baldur's
fact
Gate,
that you can this person's transforming into them. I mean, it's a full appearance, hide identity wise. Druid, no. Druid is the class I have not dabbled with because it involves magic, and I've learned I am not very well with magic. So probably coolness, I'll give it a 6. Strength, however, I can't argue with an owlbear strength because those things fuck things up.
yes.
So that's gonna have to be an 8. And you said she uses this like in multiple times, and she can appearances. I mean, they are quite versatile.
My math is right. That's a 21.
I'm getting 21, almost all 21s.
All right, monDe. Who is your second choice?
One
One
Piece,
Piece.
Gear 5 Luffy.
My second choice,
Oh, I was hoping you would say Gear 5. I was like, I'm not gonna score it as high.
that is One Piece. And my choice from One Piece,
God, it's so cool.
Gear 4 Luffy. Bounce Man, to be exact. Because he shows up multiple fights. He can fly around with his by just kicking his legs. And he's pretty much a combination of Gear 3, just with hockey. But he moves a hell of a lot faster and has way cooler moves. He's fighting Doflamingo with him. He's fighting Big Mom's generals. He's fighting Kaido with it. He is just going all ape all over the place with this form.
You said I go first on
Yep.
Gear 4 Bounce Man. Bound Man.
Yeah.
Is it bounce or bound man? He do be bouncing. He do be squeaking.
It's Bound Man, but Bound Man do be bouncing.
I think it's Bounce Man.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a translation. Might be. I like Bounce
But
Man.
the internet also
Bounce Man is cool. I like
the
his
internet
hockey.
likes to call him Bounce Man.
How it's like flames.
Shout out to Ace.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because how they show it in that pattern, but no one else's hockey ever forms patterns. It was cool when he showed it off against Doflamingo when it first appeared.
Mm-hmm.
He does use it quite a bit, but he also uses his other Gear 4 form as well, Gear 4 Snake Man,
Yep.
which is arguably a little cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, Snake Man just doesn't.
I think he uses it against Katakuri in the Mirror Dimension.
That's what I was gonna go with Snake Man, but I figured Bounce Man shows up more. He only uses Snake
Yeah.
Man in like maybe 2 fights.
So I'm going to say probably an 8 for
Yes, that's where it first shows up. Besides in a flashback with
coolness.
Rayleigh.
Actually, 7 for coolness because he squeaks. He bounces,
Goddamn
he
squeaking.
squeaks like a rubber boot. Power is going to be a 9 just because of it's his strongest form till he gets Gear 5. Then Gear 5, it just completely changes everything.
You don't think that's intimidating?
Gear 5 he just becomes a god, right?
He becomes Looney Tunes. Yeah, he just gets more cloudy.
He becomes a hippie.
Kinda.
Technically, it doesn't seem like he uses it for that long, but the difference between Doflamingo and Gear 5 is like 400 episodes. So that's a long time to be using it. What episode does it show up in first?
Debut episode or chapter 784, episode 726.
First shows up in a flashback when, and then he turns into it when he fights against Doflamingo.
Is there any downside to Gear 4?
After he uses it, I think you can only use it for maybe 20 minutes. It's been the wiki wasn't entirely sure. It said maybe, but then after he uses it, he can't use hockey for 10 minutes. He has to take a 10-minute
So
break.
future, probably 8 for future as well. If Gear 5 never came along, probably be higher.
Yes.
So 7, 8, 9,
24.
24.
Dang. I'm just going to point out the fact that monDe's 2 characters so far were Goku and Luffy.
Which we discussed previously that those would probably be his 2 characters.
Yep, that was exactly what we said. I did say I'm much happier that you picked Gear 4 instead of Gear 5. Gear 4 is the like little bit of One Piece that I've seen is the fights between him and Doflamingo and then the fight in the mirror dimension because it's so fucking cool. So cool factor for me is a 10. I love the look. I love that it can transform into the different parts of the same thing, which is really cool. Like the Bound Man, Snake Man part is dope. So 10 for that. Strength, I think an 8 because he obviously has a stronger form later on. But I mean, Doflamingo's no pushover from what I've seen. He's one of the strongest characters in the show so far, and he's able to beat him. So that's pretty impressive. So an 8 there. Future impact. You do it every time. I mean, I think it's gotta be high. It's gotta be like a 9. Just like he uses it for a couple hundred episodes. Like typically what happens is you get a form like that and you use it once every season, but he uses it for a long time. And then he's able to like master a lot of the techniques too. I'm going to say a 9 for that for future impact. So that's 27. God damn. monDe coming in here just with some heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters known as the Big 3.
His last one is going to be Bleach.
I guess his last one's either going to be Bleach or it's going to be
Yay, Luffy.
Chakra, Baryon Mode, Naruto.
Naruto very on mode. My last one, we're gonna argue, and I want to make sure that you guys know that. Just let me try this. My last one. Let me find the photo I was gonna use.
Is it Optimus Prime?
It is not Optimus Prime. I am going with Tamaki Amajiki, also known as Sun Eater from My Hero Academia. And I know exactly what you're gonna say. Is it a transformation? Yes, it is more physical of a transformation than half the people on this list.
You're half.
It's more physical of a transformation than Goku, than Gear 4 Luffy, than than Kafka. Maybe not yours. Maybe not Silver's. No. No, he eats food and takes on the properties of that food. So the form that I posted and the one that Silver posts actually, because it's very similar photos, he has eaten oysters, which allows him to have protective shells on his body. He has eaten chicken, so he's able to spawn wings, so he can fly for short distances. Not as much; it's like feather fall. He can like float, and he has very strong legs and claws and talons on his feet. And he ate octopus, so he can spawn tentacles from parts of his body. Any food that he eats, he can adapt part of that to his body. So like there's one scene where he eats he's able to take in small bits of horse meat and he's able to spawn horse bottom. He turns into like a centaur. Yeah, he ate Kentucky Fried Chicken. But he's seen to use the different abilities to take down multiple enemies at once. He's also able to eat, like he ate crystals at one point and was able to break down the structure and turn his body into crystal. He's real cool. He's so strong. He's part of the big 3, which are the 3 top students at Hero Academia at UA. Yeah. To be fair, I didn't. Yeah, that's the photo. He has a crab claw arm. He ate bull meat, so he has the horns of a bull. horse meat, so he has the legs, the body of a horse. He's really cool. You guys are gonna tear me apart, aren't you?
Well, you're first, monDe.
We'll see. Yeah, I know.
We'll see. Proceeds to give rating.
I mean, proceeds to give rating. I mean, it is kind of cool that he just gets different things happen when he eats different things. Like you said, the crystals, he ate that guy's crystals. So he pretty much just ate another person's quirk and then got his quirk to adapt it.
Kinda, yeah.
He's like a mixture of Kirby and Kakashi. Coolness. I mean, I'm going to give it a 7 because that is kind of cool. Some of the transformations. Strength, though, I mean, he does get his ass kicked a few times because he doesn't really have the drive. Like in the that one episode, Fat Gum, I think so. Yeah, I think Fat Gum's the one that protects him. There's the one where he gets the it was like the training session with the others when Mirio had his powers gone. Spoiler. Strength, I'm gonna have to give it a 7 as well.
You're already more generous than I expected.
But for future use, it's like you know he's gonna use it because it's his only ability.
But it's very versatile.
It is, but he has no other like he doesn't even have any drive to learn any new attacks. Like at least Mirio is like, oh, I don't have powers. I'm just gonna go train this.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm gonna go with a 5 on future use, just because he still uses it, but it's like I think he favors his octopus stuff.
Mm.
So
I love that Silver
19.
just takes the time to post photos.
Chimera, yeah, see Kraken.
Yeah. To be fair, the Kraken one is really strong because he gets body armor with it. He gets a bunch of extra limbs.
To be fair, they also live in Japan, which is a seafood capital.
Mm-hmm. That's why there's oysters and.
But he
all
could
the
have
other
at least
stuff.
picked up swordfish for a swordfish arm.
He's
Swordfish
just.
arm.
You could have at least picked up Stingray.
Yeah.
It's only effective against Australians.
But you're kind of also making my point. There's a ton of options.
We're not saying there's not a ton of options. We're just saying he's the My Hero version of Kirby.
All right. Thanks for the 19. I have a strange feeling Silver is going to just kick me in the dick here.
Doesn't Silver always?
Yeah.
Not always. I was a little bit of a Kaiju
Be
number 8.
Yeah.
Played the Silver's favoritism.
So that was recency bias.
Yeah. You like Sun Eater.
I do like Sun Eater. I just think he can manifest his powers better. Like, why go for just tentacle fingers? Why not just go for lower half tentacles like Killer Bee?
You're not wrong.
And then full wings of the chicken, not just chicken feet.
Or like, I'm going to eat bald eagle meat.
Cassowary is more dangerous. But he is strong, I give you that. But coolness wise, he's just got too much going on with his design, I think. It's hard to you can sit there and nitpick what all he ate. But if he doesn't eat that day, then he's pretty much powerless and can't transform. So all they have to do is just starve him for a while. Or just feed him tofu. Then he just grows soybeans.
Yeah. He turns into the mushroom guy from Black Clover.
So coolness, I'm gonna have to give you a 4. I mean, his basic hero costume is pretty cool, but then you start adding animal limbs randomly. It's just kind of, what's this Chimera, and why doesn't he have them in the right spots? I mean, you can see the tentacle fingers probably in a lot of different hentais and stuff. Maybe that's why monDe likes it so much.
Did not cross my mind, but okay. Now I got that image of Sun Eater in my head. Can I change my score?
Nope. Locked in. Because Silver's about to give me a 4, a 4, and a 4.
Power wise, it's going to be a 6 because he's top 3 in the school, but that's only in third years. And they don't.
No. He's also stronger than all the other students.
Well, they're about ready to graduate, and that was stated before the arc with the. That was after Sports Festival, right?
Yeah,
Just after the Sports Festival
yeah.
arc,
It's
which
before
is
the Hideout raid arc.
yeah, which everybody else was still powering up at that point. All the first years, I believe, are stronger than him now.
No,
Besides Mineta,
no.
What? Minetta's not the strongest?
see, Mineta's is also based on his diet. In future usage, he doesn't play a super huge role in the series. He's cleaning up some of the lower tier villains in the war arc. He's not even with Todoroki or Toga, or he's with Fat Gum in his agency. So probably also a 6 for 18.
Right. Yeah. For wait, how many did you say?
6,
It's
12,
16.
16 math.
If you want to give me 18, I'll take it.
Nah, we'll go 16.
Hey monDe, guess who now owns the lowest score? Yay.
Yeah, that's my idea on Sun Eater. I mean, he's a cool character.
Hmm.
He's a character.
He was one of those, like I said, off the beaten path characters.
Yeah, like the Kirby of My Hero Academia.
All right.
Just a weaker Kirby. I think Kirby would actually beat this guy.
God damn. I didn't realize Sunny was going to catch so many stray shots out here.
I mean, Sun Eater is 90% food. Kirby's going to eat him.
All right. Moving on. He just
I mean,
keeps the same.
Goku and Luffy would probably try and eat him.
Damn. All right. You're up, Silver.
Okay. My next one is also kind of controversial,
Yay, controversy.
but it also goes back to Kaiju number 8 status of something possess somebody in order to gain powers. Human transforms into monster and can change back and forth.
Okay.
So, are you guys familiar with the character Eddie Brock?
He, he is
That
literally
Venom.
on my list. I can't make that up.
That Venom.
That is Venom.
That's dope.
We are Venom, where an ordinary man turns in, gets a
So,
befriends a symbiote, and they live together.
can you
Yes,
specify where this venom is from?
my images and stuff was the Tom Hardy Venom.
Okay, cool. That's what I was like. I don't know which version you're picking because you can go comics, you can go old TV shows, you could go
Mhm.
old movie, the original Spider-Man, you could go the new Venom movies. So,
Mine was the new Venom movies where he's kind of anti-hero a little bit, but he's gains a bunch of strength where he's on par with Spider-Man. He doesn't like sound though, but he also is a fan favorite, which is why he keeps coming back in all these other series.
yeah.
Even you guys knew his human counterpart
Mhm.
of Eddie Brock. Yeah. The big, bulky, black, scooey Spider-Man lookalike. Venom.
Venom, Venom, Venom.
Do I go first on this or does monDe go first for you? I think I asked that same exact question last time.
I went first last time.
So it's me. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Silver is pandering to his audience, and that's fine. Because I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't like Venom. Cool factor is going to be like a 7. Very cool character, very cool abilities. I think where you lose it for me, the new design it grew on me. It grew on me a lot, but I'm not a huge fan of like all the little white. They look like veins all over him. Not a massive fan of that. He also
Yeah.
looks just. It looks off. He just looks too like roided out. You know what I mean? So it's cool, but the design had to grow on me for a while. So I'm not a massive fan of it, but it's a decent design. So I'm gonna say a 7 for that.
That was for design for the coolness.
Yeah, for a cool factor, it's a 7.
Okay.
Strength. He even says in the show that he's not the strongest symbiote, but then he immediately goes and kills the said stronger symbiote. So, you know. So I'll give it like an 8 for strength. I think part of that is the bond, obviously. Him and Eddie Brock are very similar. Future impact is going to be a 5 because the whole point of the second movie, and I guess part of the first movie, is that Venom can control Eddie whenever he wants, and it's more like the partnership piece of it, in that if Eddie essentially doesn't do what Venom wants, he'll just take over and go do what the fuck he wants. So I think that's an important piece of like Eddie has to keep Venom happy or else he'll leave, if that makes sense.
Can he leave though?
Yeah. He can jump from body to body. They just won't. Eddie's the first one he's had that, like, I don't think they touch on it in the show. In the comics, I believe it was like they're compatible, and I forget what the factor is, but there's some sort of compatibility factor that Venom doesn't deteriorate the body, like doesn't like break down Eddie Brock's body, whereas like other individuals, the body will break down after a couple days and they'll just die. So that's why he has to continually jump.
Spider-Man having an enhanced body is why he survives for so long.
Yes, yeah, but even then, it started to deteriorate in other ways. Like obviously, he became an asshole, and it was taking away his mind. So I'm gonna go with 5 for that. So 20. You're up, monDe.
I mean, coolness wise, I do like Venom. Mainly, I like the black Spider-Man suit because I always used it every chance I got in the Spider-Man game. Like it was like, oh, do you want to do good choices? Nah, black suit all the way.
Oh damn! What was that? The third? Was it on PS2?
Yes.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 on PS2, where you could pick the good path or the bad path.
Yeah. So coolness, I'm gonna have to give him like an 8. No, he's got the weird eyes. We'll give him a 9.
The eyes are
Coolness.
very comic accurate,
Yes.
for sure.
Strength wise, like Mage says, he does state that he's not the strongest. Because in the one clip of it I have seen of this, he goes, "That is a red one. We do not fight red ones."
But then he kills the red one. Spoilers for the second Venom movie
I
that
haven't
came
seen
out
No.
6 years ago.
it.
Did you say you haven't seen it?
I haven't
Nope.
seen it
Yes,
yet.
you did. We saw it in theaters.
No, we didn't.
I thought we did. The three of us went and saw it in theaters.
You never came
I've
back.
never. Yeah,
Bullshit.
I've never seen a Venom movie.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No, we did.
No, we've seen the one Spider-Man because I remember we leaned in, and went, "He's dead. He gone."
Yeah, we see.
I saw it in theaters. Oh damn. Well, we'll have to see the third one. So you guys have to watch the other two before then.
So I guess for
So they're
strength,
still
since he
making
apparently-
more. So you.
There's a third
So
one. There's a third one coming
futures
up.
higher that.
If I was gonna say if he killed the red one, I'm gonna give him an 8 in strength.
He does. He kills Carnage.
And for future use, I mean, depending on where we are, and if there's gonna be a third one, I'm gonna give it maybe a 7.
And he showed up in that same Spider-Man movie we went to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did see Venom in that. So 789 or 987, whichever way you want to look at that.
24. That's how I look at it.
I'm gonna catch some flack for mine as well.
That's your guys' homework over the weekend. Is you both have to go watch the first 2 Venom movies.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, they're pretty decent.
Is it on Disney?
Yeah, Venom 1 is on Disney. Venom 2 is not. Hulu has it. It's on Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, or I'm sure you can just find it somewhere online. But Venom 2 is Venom Let There Be Carnage.
I'm probably gonna catch some flack on this one. I read the categories and was like, oh, that one would be a great one for this one.
Cubics.
No,
That would be.
he's in my honorable mentions. He's in my honorables.
I like
I'm
that.
diving back into the Dragon Ball's creatures. This was one of Mage's favorite characters to play
No
as.
way.
And
Gokul?
it is no, that's a fusion.
That's a fusion.
Okay, good.
Janemba.
Dude, hold on. I gotta see if you can see this. Can you see down at the bottom there? If it'll focus. I literally had Janemba.
Yep.
That's crazy. Because I was trying to think of the same thing. I was like, what's a weird character from DBZ that transforms?
Master Roshi.
Yeah. For those that don't know Janemba originally starts off as a giant, childish, yellow blob with 4 nipples and pink arm sleeves. gets beat up enough to get pissed off, transforms into a very slim, buff, purple and red demon with a sword and kicks the butts of Goku and Vegeta, and they have to fuse to beat him.
God, what a movie, too.
That is where they first fuse with the fusion dance, I believe.
Yeah. Because I think in the movie, Goku has to teach it to Vegeta. Because I don't think he knows it.
Right.
Yeah, he was birthed from the overloaded soul cleansing machine from all the evil spirits that have been purified. So they were all purified, but then reincarnated into the powerful demon.
This took place in HFIL, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in
That's why
Hifil.
Vegeta was there.
Yeah, because Vegeta was in HFIL. And they sent Goku and Pikkon down to take care of it.
God, I forgot Pygon was in this movie.
The photo was a Kid Buu absorbed
Janemba. Kid Buu is on my honorable mentions.
Well, I mean, he's definitely a lot cooler. Janemba is compared to his first form,
It's Super Janemba is the second form.
Super Janemba. It's better that he gained a lot of his clothes. We still don't know if he has 4 nipples underneath.
I bet he doesn't pee out him.
I mean, there's really nothing terrible about its design besides he's red.
This is how I lose points by having red characters.
Other than that, though, I would probably get a poster of Super Janemba, not regular Janemba. Say coolness is probably going to be an 8. Power wise, taking the fusion of them at the time, I say probably 8 as well. About on par with Super Saiyan 4 because their fusion base is probably close to Super Saiyan 4's. And future, he just shows up in video games after this, doesn't he? He doesn't show back up in the show.
Yeah, it's in a movie.
Right.
The movies are all like supposed to be a separate
Non-canon.
universe.
But at least remember them bringing back with the video games, which they always do for DBZ games. So probably a 6 on future or 5. We'll go 5 for a total of 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought it was controversial. Uh, I'm gonna start with Future Impact because it's gonna be my lowest. It's gonna be a 6 because he said he doesn't show up much. He does actually get modified by Dr. Wheeler or Dr. Wheelo, which I just read about in that Dragon Ball Super Heroes thing. So he comes back, which is cool. And then he's also in like the Xenoverse movies and stuff like that, or in the video games and all that. So he does get to come back. Cool factor, it anytime you go from like, oh, this thing's really like nice and innocent to, hey, this thing's a demon, I'm all for that. So cool factor is going to be like an 8. Strength, I mean, he was given Goku, Vegeta, and Pikkon the business, and the fact
Yes.
they had to fuse, go Super Saiyan in the fusion, and use a technique they just pulled out of their ass to beat him is very impressive. So I'm going to say probably like a 9. Yeah, probably a 9. 23.
Yeah.
Time for math.
Time for math.
Math
Add you
time.
guys'
Math
scores.
I'll let you guys go first because I think I potentially lost.
I think I got the same score this week as I did last week.
Did you really?
I didn't put my final score down on my paper last week. I'm not going to add it up. It's close.
Oh, I can tell you actually. I have it right here. 124.
Nope, it must have been the same as your score then. Last week's.
I think that's my highest score yet.
Or no, monDe was 124. Yours was 132. And mine was 133.
Well, we'll start with Mage since he started.
My total score was 128.8.
Ah, that 0.8 helped you a whole bunch
Oh, no way.
because mine was 131.
Dang. You fucking asshole.
But now here's the real kicker. monDe, what is your score?
My score is 139.
Dang.
Finally won one.
Yeah.
And Mage finally lost.
Oh, this is horse shit. For our scoreboard's sake, that brings the score to 2 wins for me, 2 wins for Silver, and 1 win for monDe.
I'm catching up.
Yeah, because we've had 5 episodes.
But Mage, do you know what this means?
What does this mean?
You get to spin the wheel yourself.
Or I could just pick one.
Before we do that, though, honorable mentions.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you guys go first since I lost.
I've only got a couple if you want me to go.
You can go. I'll go.
My honorable mentions are Danny Phantom.
That's a good one.
That is a really good one, actually. You would have just cleaned house with that.
I believe his name was Jake Long.
American Dragon.
Dang.
American Dragon. And crap, where'd the other one go?
Which they do have a canonical reasoning for the difference in art style between season 1 and season 2.
What is it? Because I don't buy whatever it is.
It's they changed something about his source of his powers. And so it went from the American dragon to more of the Chinese dragon.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
and
anyways.
Harudigar.
Who?
That was my third. Harudigar.
Oh, Harudigarn.
Yeah.
From the Fist of the Dragon movie or Spirit of the Dragon? DBZ.
Yeah.
The big giant monster with, it's got like a skull face.
And they transform into the giant bug.
Oh yeah, I always played him in them games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, those were mine.
Mine were Aaron from Attack on Titans.
I had him too. I thought someone else was going to take him.
All Might the Small Might
Mm.
from My Hero. From Hunter x Hunter, Gone, where he transforms into his future version and then loses his nin.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, Denji.
Never seen Chainsaw Man.
Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of Hazbin Hotel. That's a good one.
God, that's such a
good show. My last one is Toadette using the Super Crown to transform into Peachette because Bowsette is not canon in Mario.
I know it pisses off Mario creators.
All right, I'm going to pretend you didn't use that one. Because I hate that was on your honorable mentions list. So I had Natsuo from Fairy Tail, Ichigo from Bleach, when he goes into Hollow Mass form. I had Alucard from Hellsing Abridged with his Release Restraint or like Baskerville form. Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins, his Demon King form. Ultraman from Ultraman Rising. I had a Naruto character as well, and I didn't pick this because I knew it was going to be bad. Might Guy going into his 8 Gates form. I had Sonic transforming into Super Sonic. Shinra transforming into his Demon King form. And then I also had someone from the Venom series. I had Carnage from Venom.
Technically, we could also do Master Splinter and the Ninja Turtles from transforming into.
Technically, we could have done full curse mark Sasuke.
Mm-hmm. You could do a lot of the Naruto ones.
These are just our somewhat controversial picks for transformations. So, Mage, what's it going to be? Are you going to spin the wheel, or are you just going to pick one off the list?
Spin the wheel.
I'm gonna spin the wheel because I think that's more fun. Sorry, I'm ordering Were there any other ones we had to add to the list? I added best fusions.
I best eye power.
It's just gonna be a bunch of Naruto shit.
Well, there's Code Geass. There is
best quirk.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Best quirk.
Best fake fusions.
Fake fusion.
It's just Goku.
Because there's Pokemon fusions, Pokemon Digimon fusions. You got Boo and Janemba fused with a Black Star Dragon Ball.
I'm looking back there to see if there are any we talked about. Coolest dragons.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna change that to best dragons. Because cool will probably be one of the picks.
Top dragons.
All right. Wheel is spinning. We are going to be doing
Tink, 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 tink.
Magic Systems. Oh, this will be.
At least Mage understands
fun.
Magic Systems. I'm not sure about.
Can I make an amend to this? Can we
What's
call
the
this
amendment?
power systems? So because magic systems is just going to limit us. If we did power systems, we could do like key, hockey, obviously like magic, like demon power. I think it just gives us more options. What are your thoughts?
I mean, that sounds okay with me.
I'm fine with anything.
So like ability systems, or
like that.
what makes the world special?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in
Power
parentheses after that.
sources, magic systems, quotation marks. What makes the world different?
Yeah, I like that.
So key, got key for DBZ, got Nin from Hunter x Hunter.
Works
Nin's
from My
also
Hero.
in, yeah, Quirks from My Hero. Radioactive spider bites from in the X Factor from the X Men.
X-Men. Yeah. So everything like along those lines.
Which system? Well, are we talking worldwide scale? Are we talking so like Spider Man's radioactive spider bites not on the worldwide scale, but the X Men's X Factor is
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great point.
because Quirks are worldwide
Hmm.
and Magic and Nin is
But for example, like Asa's devil powers are not worldwide.
no, but the magic system is that the devils use.
Yeah, that's where it gets confusing. I would say we count Spider-Man's powers as like it's a mutation. It wouldn't be an X Factor, but it would be like at the core of the X Factor is mutation. So I would count that as that.
So like Marvel DC would be mutations
Mhm.
caused by blank.
Yeah, I'd be
Okay.
good with that.
If we choose to choose any of those characters.
Mhm. You
Do
good,
you
monDe?
understand that, monDe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then you would need hockey and devil fruits
Those
for
were
One
I would count
Piece.
those as two different things for sure.
Yeah. Because those that use
Yes.
hockey don't necessarily have a devil fruit like Usopp.
And then vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think that'll be good. Let's start my
Yes.
list tonight.
Then we got 3 days to do it. Are you good with that, monDe?
Okay.
We do not only have 3 days to do it. We have a week. All right.
All right. I'm going to hit stop and then anything else you guys want to say?
Keep coming back.
Yeah, there's plenty of apocalypse bullshit happening.
See you in the next apocalypse.
Hello, Chaotic here. Thank you for listening to Archetype Apocalypse. Mage, monDe, and Silver will be back to debate soon, but if you just can't wait to get your hands on more, check out the other projects within Mythic Gates on Discord or at monstersmythe.wixsite.com. A quick tip since Silver can't hear me either. If you sub to Patreon, you get episodes a week early. Don't tell them I told you. See you next time, AA Fiends.